What is up? My name is Jake, and this is Bottom Line. And on today's show, can RFK Jr. actually make America healthy again? Or is this just another political slogan? We're in a time where chronic disease, obesity, and pharmaceutical reliance are at all-time highs. And RFK Jr. is no longer just talking about making America healthy again. He's now in a position to actually do it. That's right. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is officially the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, HHS, under the new administration. I'm going to hold everything I can back to not do an impression of him. I'm going to restrain myself. After years of campaigning against Big Pharma, medical mandates, and corporate corruption in healthcare, he now has real power to shake things up. But here's the big question. Can he actually deliver on his promises? Or is he going to run into the same brick wall that every reformer before him has faced? Today, we're breaking down, number one, RFK Jr.'s plan to reform healthcare and nutrition in America. Two, the policies he's already trying to push through as Secretary of HHS. And three, the real challenges he's facing from Big Pharma, Congress, and even the FDA. Well, let's start off. Who is RFK Jr.?
A quote from Emerson where he said, if a single man plant himself firmly on his own ideal and there abide, the whole wide world will come round to him. For 20 years, I've gotten up every morning on my knees and prayed that God would put me in a position where I can end the childhood chronic disease epidemic in this country.
Let's talk about who this guy actually is. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the son of Robert Kennedy and nephew of former President John F. Kennedy. He made a name for himself as an environmental lawyer, taking on big corporations over pollution. But in recent years, he's become known for something else. His criticism of vaccines, Big Pharma, and what he calls the corporate capture of public health institutions. He originally ran as a Democrat, but later switched to an independent presidential bid in 2024, gaining surprising traction. His core campaign themes: ending chronic disease, fighting corporate corruption, and restoring medical freedom. His Make America Healthy Again movement resonated with voters who felt ignored by both major parties. Now, under the new administration, he's been appointed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, meaning he oversees the FDA, the CDC, and Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, this is a huge deal because RFK Jr. now has actual control over the agencies that he spent years criticizing. So what is he actually doing with this power? What does Make America Healthy Again even mean? Or MAHA?
Hello. Hi.
I hate that. MAHA? I hate it. So RFK Jr. argues that chronic diseases have skyrocketed due to corruption in medicine, food, and environment. Here's some key stats that he points to. 60% of US adults have a chronic disease like diabetes, heart disease, or autoimmune disorders. Obesity rates have tripled in the last 50 years. Prescription drug use has skyrocketed, with the US consuming over 50% of the world's pharmaceuticals while making up only 4% of the global population. That stat is crazy. His claim? These problems are not accidents. They are there by design. He believes that Big Pharma profits from keeping people sick, that the food industry loads products with sugar, seed oils, and ultra-processed ingredients, and that government agencies like the FDA and CDC are controlled by corporate interests rather than public health. RFK isn't wasting time. Since taking office, he's already introduced major initiatives to change the way America handles health. Here are his top priorities so far. Number one, regulating Big Pharma and FDA reform. RFK has promised to hold pharmaceutical companies accountable by, number one, overhauling the FDA and Big Pharma oversight. So he wants to crack down on regulatory capture, making sure that pharma companies don't control the agencies meant to regulate them. He is pushing for transparency in vaccine safety, drug trials, and medical research funding, and investigating conflicts of interest between health officials and the pharmaceutical industry. Potential impact? this could make the FDA and the CDC more independent and accountable. The challenge, pharma giants have spent decades embedding themselves into policymaking. Will he actually be able to clean house? While exposing corruption is one thing, changing how the pharmaceutical industry operates would require major legislative changes and massive political fights. And is he going to be able to do that? Number 2, reforming America's food system. I am all for this, I just have to say. He wants to ban harmful additives that are already outlawed in Europe. America is typically behind in that respect. Promoting regenerative farming and reducing corporate influence on food policy. I think that's great. And requiring clearer food labeling to expose ultra-processed, high-sugar products is especially a problem in kids' foods, but really across the US. Potential impact? This could drastically improve nutrition, reduce obesity, and chronic disease. The challenge? Big agriculture and food lobbyists are some of the most powerful forces in Washington. Will Congress allow these reforms to actually happen? The US food industry is a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse, and lobbying efforts have crushed similar attempts at reform. And maybe even a bigger question, would people even be willing to give up cheap processed foods? I don't know. You're talking about habit changes there. Number 3, medical freedom and alternative medicine. So one of RFK Jr.'s most polarizing stances is medical freedom, no doubt. He believes Americans should have the right to decline vaccines without facing mandates. He supports alternative medicine, including holistic approaches that mainstream healthcare often dismisses. They do. He's expressed skepticism toward the current medical establishment, arguing that natural health solutions are suppressed in favor of pharmaceuticals. I agree. Potential impact. Could offer new options outside of Big Pharma's control that I think could be very positive. The challenge, mainstream medical institutions and insurance companies rely on traditional pharmaceutical models. So this could face some heavy resistance. Now, does this hold up? While some of his claims about over-medicalization have merit, his stance on vaccines and alternative medicine has been widely criticized as unscientific. I completely agree. He can make some really good points, and then he ruins it with things that he follows up with that are totally incorrect. And what sucks about that is it kind of then refutes the good points that he makes when he follows it up with really stupid conspiracy theory afterwards. So how much of this could he actually accomplish? Can he do it? RFK Jr. knew this would be a war, and it didn't take long for opposition to start rolling in. So who's fighting against RFK? Number 1 is Big Pharma. Losing control over HHS and the FDA means losing billions. Billions. Expect lawsuits, PR attacks, and political maneuvering. Congress, both sides. Even though RFK has supporters on both sides, corporate-funded politicians don't want major shakeups in the system. The media. Many mainstream outlets still paint him as a conspiracy theorist, despite his new position. So the real question is, can he actually push these policies through? Now, he has some things going for him. He has massive public support. Many Americans, including myself, are fed up with corruption in healthcare. He has executive power. As HHS secretary, he doesn't need Congress for some reforms. And there is bipartisan appeal. He has support from both left-leaning health advocates and right-wing medical freedom proponents. Granted, they agree on different things that he says. Now, what could stop him? The bureaucratic machine. Government agencies move slowly, and career officials may resist change. Lawsuits and political blockades. Major corporations could sue to delay policies indefinitely. Presidential influence. His ability to act depends on how much the president backs him versus reining him in under political pressure. So a lot remains to be seen. So, final verdict. Will RFK Jr. make America healthy again? RFK now has real power to make changes in America's health system. But is he actually going to succeed? On one hand, he's already shaking things up at HHS. He's exposing corruption in pharmaceutical and food industries. And his focus on chronic disease, medical freedom, and transparency is long overdue. High level, long overdue. On the other hand, our system is not designed for reformers, let's be honest. He's up against multi-billion-dollar industries that will not go down without a fight. You better believe that. And his more controversial ideas, like alternative medicine, may not be widely accepted. So will RFK Jr. truly change the game, or will he become another Washington insider, blocked at every turn? I want to hear from you. Is RFK on the right path, or is he just another political figure who will end up stuck in the system? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Please like and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. For more deep dives into health policy and supplements, please hit the bell icon so you don't miss my next video, where I'll be exposing another supplement brand to share if they actually work or are just expensive placebos. That's part of my Worth It or Worthless series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.